Hi everyone, I am here today to tell you a little bit about one of my favorite electronic resources that the library offers called Bookflix. And Bookflix is going to be a great digital tool for parents and teachers of children in grades kindergarten through second grade. So let's start out with just how you're going to navigate to get to Bookflix. It is part of Pennsylvania's electronic library known as Power Library. And you can get to Power Library just by typing in powerlibrary.org, or you can also start at your local library's website and navigate through them. So once you're on powerlibrary.org, you're going to want to go to Power Kids is I think the best way to get there. And you can also check out all of the other additional resources through Power Kids that are made for kids. The next upper level one is TrueFlix, so you might want to explore that. That's more, like it says in the name, true, more nonfiction materials. Whereas Bookflix is a combination of fiction and nonfiction. So we'll go ahead, go there. You'll be prompted to enter your library card number at some point, so you can go ahead, enter your Westmoreland Library Network library card. And if you don't have a library card, you can easily get one through your library just to access digital materials. If you can't make it in person to your library, and you want a digital card right away, you can go to your library's website and get that information. So we will click on Start, and as you can see here, the home page displays a number of different categories of books. You can also do a title search. Go right into one of these, and you'll see that for every rectangle here, there are 2 books inside, one of which is going to be a fiction storybook and one of which is going to be a nonfiction selection. And so as you'll see, this is deliberately done. It really works at engaging different parts of a child's brain, and then leads to more critical thinking and discussion about fact versus fiction, as we will see here. And I'll go ahead into just this first one here and show you what it looks like. So there is going to be the storybook, which is an animated story. So you'll see it says watch the story down here, and then a nonfiction book where you will have the option to read the book. It also has a read aloud option, but you can turn the read aloud option off and just read it yourself. It does not have the animated functions that the storybook does. So we'll click on watch the story. I don't think you'll get the audio on your end, but you can hear as we go through. It reads the story to you. A very talented narrator reads the story to you. And as you'll see on the screen, what's nice about Bookflix is that it highlights each of the words as it's being read to the child. So that really helps with their reading skills and recognizing words, obviously. You can also turn the read along option off so that you can't see the words on the screen. If you wanted to do that, if you just kind of wanted to show a video more or less, you could turn that off. And then you can also toggle to Spanish, and that will read the story to you in Spanish, which is a really nice feature. It does not let me. There we go. You can see that there. Okay. And then while we're on this screen, I will also go into This left-hand navigation bar has some additional resources. It really takes all of the work out of any additional activities you want to do with the book because they're all there. So they have puzzlers, which are a few different games that go along with the books. There's a word match, so that really helps in obviously building vocabulary. Fact or fiction will show, will give a choice as to whether something's fact or fiction, and again, that's engaging those thinking elements involved in recognizing whether something a child's reading about is pretend or if it's information. And which came first is going to work on those reading comprehension skills so they can think about what they just read and the sequencing of elements in those stories. Under Dive Deeper, this is a curated collection of what else is out there on the web that you can use for additional activity components with Bookflix. And a lot of the time in reading a story, you want to talk about how it was created by an author and an illustrator. So there's just some more information there about those two individuals. Okay. One of the other things with Bookflix that might be overseen that I really want to touch upon because it's a great feature is this little circle up in the right-hand corner, which is especially for teachers that might be using this resource. If you click on Lesson Plan, it gives you a full lesson plan for the Bookflix pairing, the full information about each of the books, and that includes ages, Lexile levels, themes, summaries, the objectives that go along with the pairing, discussion, questions you can use in your classroom, and then also activities that you can pair with each book. And last thing on the bottom here, if you are a teacher and you're looking to justify teaching and align it with curriculum, you can find that there, and it will show you just whether it's statewide curriculum through Pennsylvania or national curriculum. It lays it out there for you. Okay, and yeah, there's also options to print any of these resources and tools. So now going back to the home screen, I'll go back to that pairing I was on here, and you'll see that with every storybook there's a nonfiction book. And it's not animated, but it also allows the reader to read along to the story. So we will click on Read Along, and then as you move through the story, you'll have to click through the pages. It will again highlight each of the words that you're reading. You can pause it if you want. You can also make it slower, make the narration a little slower to perhaps better follow along. And you can also, again, toggle to Spanish and work on Spanish vocabulary. And you'll also see in these texts that vocabulary words are highlighted, and when you go over to the different features on the left side, that's where a lot of those vocabulary words will come into play. Okay, go back here to the home page. One last thing over here in this teacher's icon that you can look at are the resources and tools, and that just gives you a title library of all the titles that exist in Bookflix. It might be a little easier for teachers to search that way or parents to search that way. and it will give you the full breakdown of each of the books there. Just a little different way to display the titles and view the titles that might be more helpful to you. So I hope you enjoy exploring Bookflix. It's, again, a really great way to engage with your children and students. And again, it's free. All you need is your library card. I hope you take advantage of it, and I hope to see you in the library soon.